Hello, MGTOW. Hello, man. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I'm kind of dealing with some very particular ugliness within MGTOW. And I won't go into too much detail, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. And essentially, what I'm talking about is men coming in to MGTOW and claiming, to be MGTOW or to be concerned with men, but for them just to be completely gynocentric, blue pill, simpish men that are here to shame and carry out, they're white knights. They're here to carry out a gynocentric message and to convert MGTOW and to shame MGTOW and to hold MGTOW up to ridicule and attack. It's a typical female tactic. And I want to talk a little bit about it because I think we're going to encounter it more and more as more and more men come into MGTOW are driven to MGTOW through feminism, through an abusive gynocentric system, from seeing the unrestrained female sexuality and the damage that it does and recognizing. So a lot of men will be coming into MGTOW, but they're going to bring their blue pill worldview with them. And they've been conditioned to protect and defend and sacrifice for women. And they define themselves through this ability. So the idea of encountering MGTOW, right, to them, it's like a gold mine, right? You understand this because they want to be the one good man. I'm sure you're all, familiar with the one good man syndrome, where the man tells himself that he is, the one good man in whatever endeavor. In other words, everybody else's progress in life is because they're cheating, and he is the one good man, and therefore he is the only worthy man. And unfortunately, in order to maintain this type of a facade, look, it's an excuse for being completely ineffective in reality, for having this feminine, emotional view of reality. This creates this stigma, and they want to justify it, so the one good man syndrome kicks up, and they're the only one playing by the rules. Everybody else is a bad man. So to come into contact with them, and this is, this is what women are doing. This is what feminists are doing. This is what social justice warriors, this is what a victim class of people do, okay? This is how they get by. This is how they develop their status. Sorry. The point is that these people are driven by their weakness. They don't accept responsibility for being productive. They blame it on other people, on other things. And the more ineffective that they are, and the more successful other people are, the more frustrated this makes them. And the more they are driven to this behavior of demonizing other people's motives and behavior, as opposed to upping their game or adjusting their game. They don't even look at themselves. This is a personality weakness. This is a personality flaw that the individual has to overcome. I hope you see that, and I hope it helps. I imagine that the worse the circumstances are for the individual, the tighter the trap is. A lot of these psychological traps really are like, the Chinese finger trap. The harder you pull to get out of it, the stronger the trap locks in on itself. But if you can understand the nature of the trap and relax and give in, the trap loses its power, slackens, and you're able to remove your fingers. And this is a psychological trick as well. So essentially what we're talking about here is people being driven by things that they don't understand within their own personality. So it's very dangerous behavior. In other words, they really don't have self-knowledge, and they're not interested in it. As a matter of fact, I would suspect that they are strongly opposed to it. And the closer that you try to bring them to it, the more hostile and aggressive they will become. And you can understand that the less effective a person is at dealing with reality, coping with the situation around them, the stronger this behavior and the stronger these defenses will become. So do yourself a favor. Be truthful with yourself. Face your weaknesses. Face the situation that men are in. Face the compromise that a man is required to make in order to be accepted by a female world. Are you willing to make that compromise? I know it's harsh, but essentially it's almost like a type of psychological castration in dealing with this group. How do you hold on to your principles, your integrity, your honor, your self-efficacy, your honesty with yourself, and acting that out in your behavior, which is necessary? How do you reconcile that with having to be an emotional servant to someone's weakness? And of course we all do in some ways or another. Or we're expected to, for the work, for the job, for family members' abuse, for abuse inherent in the system. But if you're an individual and you encounter one of these people, they're going to attempt to damage you. And the more inclined you are towards being productive and being independent, the more abuse and damage they will, heap on you. And now such men are coming into MGTOW, and they are driven by their blue pill mindset. Quick message. If you find the Howard Dare MGTOW videos of value, please consider making a donation to the Howard Dare channel through PayPal. It'll help me make more videos. It'll help me grow my channel. And if you can't make a donation, please go ahead and like the video or even share the video. That'll help too. Continuing on. They despise MGTOW. They despise masculinity. They are here to score cheap points on MGTOW, to cause great damage to individual men, and thereby raise themselves up in a gynocentric world. This knowledge they hide from themselves. They don't want to see this. This is what drives their behavior. Female approval, female validation, the validation of a group of people that are enslaving you. That is why they reward you. That's why they're nice to you, because you've done what they've demanded you do. That is the price of success in many instances. I'm not saying that that's the price of individual achievement. That is your achievement, of course, and I don't care what really motivated you to go after it. I admire it. It's worthy, and you should be proud of it. But then we are called upon to compromise ourselves in order to get along with some people. And the price is too great, ultimately, because, it's a lack of self-knowledge. Therefore, they are driving themselves towards their own destruction, certainly not towards their own improvement, right? They're not going to start seeing better results with their tactics, but they are going to entrap and enslave and damage more people and blame, because they're blaming more people. That's their success. I mean, look at the modern left. That's what they do. It's victim politics. It's identity politics, for, victim oppression politics to form your group. It's the same old story. And on the other side of that is individual responsibility and strength and freedom and, personal efficacy. Real. It's not an easy thing. You will be tested in the crucible of your own weakness. Many people on that journey, they've given up or they've gone in the wrong direction. So if you associate with them, guess what? You are led astray. MGTOW is not a hate group. MGTOW is not a group of gossiping women. It's an individual discipline for the man. Might as well be a martial art. Yeah, I like that. Certainly physical fitness is a principle of MGTOW. If your mind is clear on these, many of these issues, I believe your body can follow, and your emotions, right? And that's what I'm saying. A lot of damaged men are coming into MGTOW, and they're trying to play a female role. Now, it works, it's effective, and men are susceptible to it, but we're not so susceptible to it from other men. You understand also that this is a basic evolutionary tactic that the beta males will employ in order to get past the screening of the females in order to get together with them and potentially mate with them. In other words, they pretend to be harmless and they pretend to be helpers. And that way they get access to the females, and that way they can potentially impregnate them. This is their strategy. It's the cuck strategy. It works, right? Especially if you've got a highly industrialized, technological, agriculturally sound civilization with plenty of resources, okay? The man can barter the resources and cooperation for sexual access, right? This is very useful to the women, especially regarding, child rearing, but not necessarily, only if they kind of fall into a particular trap themselves, a kind of weakness, their own different type of weakness, right? The weak man is busy trying to prove that he's a worthy man to the unworthy female. It drives his behavior. And the unfit female is playing her sexuality for all that it's worth and just becoming a terrible glutton. You know what I mean? She really is becoming the great whore. Yeah, I have a video on that. I should probably update that because it's a growing issue. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.